5 idioms that will help you sound like a native English speaker. This will be a fun video. Today we're going to talk about 5 idioms that will help make you sound like a native English speaker. First though, let's define what an idiom is. Simply put, an idiom is a group of words that always go together as a group, but some of the individual words will not be the usual dictionary meaning. Because of this, the meaning of the idiom will often be tricky to guess the meaning of. It can be fun trying though. Here's an example and see if you can guess the meaning. Tara looks out the window and says, "Oh no, look outside. It's raining cats and dogs out there." Did you get an image in your mind of a bunch of cats and dogs coming down out of the sky? It would be quite understandable if you did. But the actual meaning of this idiom is that there is heavy rain coming down. Did you guess that? So the meanings of idioms often change from their original dictionary definition, and therefore they need to be learned individually. Idioms are part of everyday speech, so knowing and using them will make you sound more like a native English speaker. And since native speakers use idioms all the time, learning some of them in advance will help you follow conversations more easily. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Maureen, an English teacher of 20 years, and today you're going to learn 5 fun English idioms that will help you on your way to sounding like a native English speaker. So let's get started. Our first idiom is to break the ice. To break the ice in a situation means to initiate or begin conversation in a social setting that might feel uncomfortable to people. For instance, in our new English class last week, to break the ice, the teacher asked each student to introduce themselves and share one interesting fact about themselves. So we all did that, and most people relaxed quite a bit after that. Once the ice, the uncomfortable feeling, is broken, people generally relax and more easily find things to talk about. Our next idiom is hit the nail on the head. This means to be exactly right about something that someone said. For instance, when Sarah said the problem was the lack of communication, she hit the nail on the head. That means Sarah was exactly right about the problem. Think of a hammer hitting the flat part of a nail exactly in the middle. That flat part is the head of the nail. When you analyze something and your conclusion is perfectly correct, you have hit the nail on the head. Or here's another example. Barb says to her car mechanic, "I think it might be the alternator that's causing the car to have problems." After looking carefully at the engine, the mechanic responds to Barb, "You're absolutely correct. You hit the nail on the head." Idiom number 3 is spill the beans. Have you heard this one? To spill the beans means to reveal a secret. In other words, to share information you weren't supposed to share. Here's an example. 2 friends talking at lunch break. "This party for Mary was supposed to be a surprise, but someone has spilled the beans and now she knows all about it." Or it can mean that private information has been made known publicly. For instance, I heard the new lawyer doesn't actually have a law degree. Can you believe it? Sounds like someone has spilled the beans. Our next idiom is a piece of cake. This means something is very easy to do. Our first example is in a math class. One student proudly holds up a finished math test and says to the whole class, "This math test was a piece of cake for me. I finished it in under 10 minutes." Another example would be 2 friends discussing a third friend. "John learned to speak French when he was a small child. That's why French is a piece of cake for him now." And our last idiom in this video is under the weather, which means a vague feeling of being sick or unwell in some way. An example would be Sarah calls her boss and tells him, "I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. I think I'll stay home and rest." This expression can also be used when someone is not doing well emotionally, not just physically. Salim had never been away from his family before, and he was missing them and feeling quite under the weather about it. Okay, those are our 5 idioms for today. I hope you enjoyed learning these idioms and that you will listen for them in English conversation and in some of your varied listening practices, such as Netflix, YouTube, and any other listening opportunities you have in English. And try to use at least one of them in a conversation. If you do manage to use even just one, be sure to let us know in the comments below. We love to hear your success stories, large and small. And if you found some value in this video, please consider giving us a like of support. This really helps the algorithm. We also welcome your questions and your feedback. Practice as much as you can, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.